The following is a Pod Beer production.
In 2016, we commenced with an experiment and gave a man-child addicted to podcasting and a man with a funny hat, microphones, and alcohol. The following is what ensued.
Balls were hanging out.
You know, hey guys, I'm just gonna stroke this real quick.
You never know who's getting frisky that night.
At that one moment in my life, I literally was speechless.
Phrasing is alive and well.
Hakuna Matata means no worries.
You ever heard of slaying a dragon?
What the fuck is happening with my podcast? What is my life right now?
So drink along, folks. This is the Mikes and Beers podcast. And here's your hosts, TJ Hodder and The Heel.
Ladies and gentlemen, the beers are on ice and the mics are hot. This is the Mikes and Beers podcast. Oh, yeah. Cheers real quick.
Yeah, cheers.
Smell, yeah, man. Ooh. Oh, that is, oh my God.
That's not bad.
That is fucking beautiful. Dude.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna do something new.
Yeah, something new and exciting. New and exciting.
I mean,
is it really that exciting? I don't know.
so now we need a light show and pizzazz. I need to see everybody's spirit fingers. But yeah, so instead of just promoting one person, we get to promote four.
Yeah.
Because I want to drink.
We want to drink, and instead of having a rotating third on, it is just your boy, The Heel.
Yeah. Teej, before I introduce you, actually no, and to my left, right, and center is my boss, TJ, the Iceman Hodder.
Fucking right, buddy. Cheers to that.
Cheers to the boss. We finally got a co-host that I wanted to be with. Nobody. I don't have to look at any stupid idiot and be like, listen, you speak when spoken to. I don't have a dumb producer I have to talk to. This is wonderful. This is
It's cool. It's a different vibe, just having the two of us.
just boys hanging out, having a couple of beers.
Yeah, man. A couple beers. Anyway, what were you saying before you introduced me?
I was going to say all that.
Ah, well, there you go.
That I'm so happy that I don't have to see people.
Yeah, the only people we have to answer to right now are my cats, who are here at Hodder Show Studios, or Mike's and Beer Studios, I guess, technically right now.
I would like to think they're our live audience. We're taking a step in the right direction.
Yeah. We have first time live audience here in Mike's and Beer's history, as we are drinking these craft/Canadian beers.
Yeah.
And it's cool. So basically what we're going to do today is we are going to enjoy these nice ice cold beverages here. And we're going to talk about some stuff. I don't know if we're going to play any games.
No.
I don't think we're going to do that today because it's just the two of us.
If it's two guys playing games with each other, it's not really
kind of lame.
Yeah.
Hey, want to play a game with me?
We'll play rock, paper, scissors.
Yay.
We'll just let everybody know what happened.
Yeah. So I beat him that time.
Yeah. Beat him real good.
I beat him off. It was great. I mean,
Wow.
what?
2018, I mean. That's just a common theme.
Yeah, man.
2018. Nothing against it. We're just dating.
It's a good year. It's been a good year for me so far.
I would say it's been a fabulous year.
It's actually been a good year. I'm surprised because 2017. I look at my track record. The network starting.
Yep.
You
got engaged.
I was gonna say that's the more. I was saving that for the last. That was the most important thing. But yeah, I got engaged, which is kind of the biggest fucking deal for me in my life. Not kind of, it is obviously.
Well, I mean,
And I've gotten to try some cool new beers. I've met some cool people. It's just been a really good year for me so far. I really can't complain.
I'm alive, so I'm happy.
Fuck yeah! Cheers to being alive, bud.
Let's just start off small. Just enjoy the little victories in life.
Mm-hmm. I more just want to keep drinking this beer because it's.
Well, tell me about it.
So, as you guys know, if you're regular listeners to this podcast, which we hope you are, and if you are listening in for the first time, we hope that you hit that subscribe button, give us a follow, give us a like, share this with your friends. However, we like to have fun here. We like to have a good time, make you laugh. That's the whole point of Mike's and Beers podcast. Sometimes maybe we'll make you think, but probably not.
I doubt it.
But hopefully we can get you on some new beers and things of that nature. Check us out on all the social medias. We got Mike's and Beers. It's just the name of everything. We've got Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Check us out as well on podbeardnetwork.com/Mikes and Beers. And of course, if you have anything at all you want to say to us, you can hit us up on the email, mikesandbeers@gmail.com. We also do have an official drinking game.
I was just going to say, we got to be drinking. We just dropped a few plugs.
Yes, we did. So that's like 4 or 5
Let's
drinks.
do
So
about
let's just
4
have a
drinks.
little chugs.
While you're doing your chugs, I'll explain. So yeah, we do have a couple of rules on our drinking game. So go onto the website, check them out. You're going to find randomly that we're going to say, yep, we're going to drink for plugs, drinking for this, drinking for that. if you want to play along, go ahead. You may get drunk. You may have one sip. It don't really matter. All it's about is listening, having a good time. And TJ's going to continue as I finish my 4 sips.
Yes. So today we're doing a bit of a you had a really clever name for it earlier.
Beer case.
A beer case. Yes.
So not a showcase, a beer case.
Yes. We're doing a little beer case here today on Mikes and Beers. If you guys follow us on these social medias, you saw that as we record this episode, this was a little bit ago here. I'm not 100% sure when this episode's going to drop from now, so I'm kind of like, probably in about a week or so. You will have seen that we posted all of the different companies and all the beers. So the first one I'm starting with is actually by a company here in Canada, they've kind of become our mainstay here on Mike's and Beers. We've been drinking them pretty much every episode for the last 4 at least, and that is MooseHead. You've heard us talk about them. They are a great Canadian company making awesome beer.
Canada's, I believe, biggest independent company.
Yes, biggest independent company, union made and everything, so that's always great to support them. And they have a few different types of beer, so I wanted to get and try all of the beer. So they have their main lager, which is super smooth, great flavor, goes down super, super easy. They have their pale ale, which me personally, I'm not a huge fan of pale ale. I find it super just dry and bitter. I'm just not a fan of it. I know some people go, oh, you're a pussy. How come you don't like that?
Oh, no, I'm one of those people. I can't believe you just chirp pale ale.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I like Keith's. Yeah. But I find that I had a Keith's for the first time in forever, and I was drinking, and I was like, "Fuck, this is dry." Like, I don't know. Like, I'm too much of a light beer and like a lager guy now. Ooh. But I will explain why, because I have to defend myself on that.
That's a swear word, almost saying light.
Because I had this conversation with Bumwine Bob. Shouts to him. Yeah. Because we're the same. We're the exact same kind of drinker. So, but anyway, and then they have this drink here that I'm currently drinking, and it is called Cracked Canoe. And what it is basically it's their light lager. Yeah. So it's a light beer. So obviously it's very low alcohol content. But what they aim to do, I'm going to actually read off the back here. Oh, good. Cracked Canoe is MooseHead Brewery's premium light lager that is uniquely brewed to create a full-body taste, light on alcohol, full on flavor. So I'm someone who, I enjoy the taste of beer. I like the taste of a good lager or something like that. It makes me feel good.
Beer makes me happy.
Beer makes me happy. As much as I do enjoy, having some times where I get nice and drunk and everything. I shouldn't say I don't really like getting drunk as much anymore. I just like getting tipsy.
Yeah, getting drunk isn't that fun. I'm going to be like, oh, it's great. I'm like, you don't remember. You know what happens the next morning after you're drunk? I felt it this morning. I've been hungover for like the last 12 hours. It hurts. It sucks.
There's nothing fun. Like, why? I don't get it personally, but
Cracked Canoe seems to be the beer in your hand.
It is, yeah. And it's full of, like, what I love about MooseHead is it's such a distinctive taste.
I can't just really sleep with it. Jesus God.
I'm going to just cut a little bit of a bigger hole here and just fucking go to town, okay?
My I don't even God. You're hitting on this poor girl and she hasn't even responded yet.
This is Mike's and Beers, folks. Okay, we don't fuck around.
Apparently, my date doesn't exist. Like, you're out with a hot girl, and I got her best friend sitting here. Like, I will talk to you in a second, dear.
I'll talk to you eventually, dear. Yeah, I've got myself a nice hot date here.
Your beautiful hot blonde is sitting there with her low cut top, and I mean, you're in sweatpants. We'll get to you when we get to you.
But it's just,
and you keep going.
It's full of flavor. Like I'm with most light beers. Like I taste it, and I'm like, I mean, there's some taste, but with this, it's like, holy shit, like that tastes so good.
It's okay, dear. We'll get to you soon, I promise. As I'm stroking my beer, thinking, oh, no, you're okay. You're lovely, but we can't talk about you now. Mr. Bossman doesn't like you.
Listen, I was literally just about to say.
No, you weren't.
Now with that, my beer out of the way, I'm going to sit here and enjoy this.
What do you mean out of the way? You're going to be stroking it and kissing it and doing weird things with it? Hey, I don't judge 2018. But the whole point is, I just want to talk about mine. My poor beer.
Go ahead, Mr. Heel, and talk about your beer, please.
I don't even know what it is. Easy, big fella trying to touch my beer. Touching my beer. That's going to be leading into the next future segment today, do's and don'ts. But in my hand, I am holding from North Bay, Ontario, Canada. Apparently, it's called New Ontario Brewing Company. We just found them out. We wanted to try a couple of craft beers, all from Ontario. We didn't want to pick anything besides Moosehead. Oh, I don't know where they're stationed. I'm pretty sure they're not Ontario.
Moosehead is shit. I do not recall off the top of my head.
Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan. But either way, wife figures that out. I'm hometown hero, Mr.
New Brunswick.
Okay, I
believe I forgot that.
thought they were Maritimers.
They were, yeah.
I'm Captain Canuck. I want to have Canadian beer, so from North Bay Brewing Company, I have a beer called Bear Runner. It's a blonde ale, and on the cover, it's literally a dude running from a bear and a nice campfire. It's a good blonde ale. I don't mind it. Oh, Lord, can't even speak. I'm drunk off you. New Ontario Brewing Company, you did good. I highly recommend anybody to go find Bear Runner. Try it out. This is definitely something for me. I'd want this late at night around a campfire.
Definitely, yeah. And the thing is, too, is with some of these is... even though I'm not much of a guy who looks at like the logos and stuff like that, but like the New Ontario Brewing Company, like they've got, it's a good looking can.
Oh, it's a nice design.
It's a great logo. It looks sleek. It looks like this looks like it'd be a good beer.
Yeah, they designed that perfectly for summertime drinking. So I give them props to that. And I don't know if anybody knows about blonde ales, but definitely something around the campfire. And we have a few more. I'm not going to get to it because I don't want to talk about them just yet. I'm going to enjoy what I got.
Yes, absolutely.
It's like when you have a girl, you're on a date, you don't just start looking around right during the date. You finish it.
Finish the date first before you start moving on.
Why did you take my beer?
So because I was going to say let's do a quick swap skis.
No, I'm not swapping spit with you.
All right, I'm sure it's a fine beer.
It's wonderful.
I'm sure it's a fine beer. I like blonde ales, so I'm sure I'd enjoy it.
I'm telling Sam you're looking at another blonde. Yeah,
I prefer my ginger ales, of course. Well, I prefer my red ales, actually. Thank you very much.
Oh, amber lagers.
My amber lagers.
Yeah, fair enough.
Shout out to my beautiful, wonderful fiance.
Yeah, and I guess my girlfriend's pretty nice. She's a blonde. I'm not
I'm not against blondes. I just,
blondes have more fun. So that's why I'm hoping after I drink this, I can have a lot of fun when I go home.
Ha-ha.
That's not at all what it means.
Phrasing.
I wish. Probably end up going home and
play some Monopoly or something.
She plays Oblivion. So we
wait, what?
Yeah, we've been trying to play Elder Scrolls Oblivion.
Are you fucking serious right now?
Yeah. So she's starting Redguards, and I'm starting Dark Elf. So I
literally had to just sit back in my seat because I'm blown away that she's playing Oblivion right now.
Me too. But I've already broken the game. I've gotten Umbra's armor at level 1. All that ebony armor, it's a simple cheat, but
gross.
That's stupid.
Who even likes gaming though? Like, let's be serious.
I don't know. Some 2 guys and a pecker.
2 guys and a fucker or something like that.
Yeah,
that Hodder guy's a dick. Anyway.
Some guys on our network.
Some guys on the Podbeard network.
Check them out. That's a plug. We're all gonna drink.
Yay! Cheers.
Cheers.
So it's interesting, like as we were saying earlier, with this dynamic of just the 2 of us. Because usually there'd be some idiot sitting here going, bah, 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 bah.
3's a crowd. That's it. 3's a crowd. And especially with our last guest, it was too much.
It was too much. We had to take a break.
Like he was
Savage to Garrett.
My 7th choice for a guest for a reason. Dear God.
He's really listening, like, guys, come on.
Remember when you promised, if we would have got like 500 downloads or something, then we could have could have been a weekly show, and then because he was on it, we had 18.
We didn't actually have 18. I was under exaggerating.
I wasn't.
I was like, we got like 18 downloads.
He's like, oh my God, that's high.
That's so high for us. Oh my God.
Wow, Garrett did well.
It downloaded it 18 times himself, so it doesn't count.
I wonder if people actually do that.
Yeah, I can guarantee you they do.
That's sad.
I've seen it happen.
If you people do that, you have too much time on your hands. Not that you're sad.
I don't do it myself.
That's okay. It's okay. Yay. We need to get higher in the ratings.
We need to get higher on the ratings. No, but shout out to the captain.
No,
everybody.
He's not the cap. No. I hate that he gives you that name.
I'm trying to be nice.
No, but this is a kid when we all have nicknames. So you call me the Heel, you're the Iceman. He is not the captain. The first ever captain was myself. Whether he'll never admit it to this day, but I was the captain.
He's not here to defend it, so.
Okay, good. You know how nice and lovely this is? Look, I'm spreading my arms. I know you guys can't see. Oh, so much room.
We have so much room
and so much less stupidity. We have enough of it combined. We don't need extra.
We don't need a third person to be stupid with us.
Yeah, exactly. You don't want to be making us look good. That ain't right.
Oh boy, we definitely don't want to do that.
No, but
then it just takes away from what people are tuning in to listen to, which is Us two idiots.
As you look up your itinerary, what are we gonna do again? As
What are
you
we
think our
talking about
listener-
again today? I can't remember.
That's what happens when you drink, kids.
Yo, kayfabe.
Yo,
This
kayfabe.
light beer's not gonna be on my ass. Jesus Christ.
For wrestling fans, you will know kayfabe. We do not keep it.
I wanted to ask you a question since we're, I'm kind of turning into the Hodder show for a second here, so I want to ask you a question. Seeing as how we are just the two of us and we're hanging out, and what do you do when you are hanging out with someone? You're drinking beers. You have heart-to-heart conversations.
Most of the time, yeah.
That's just. I find myself personally. Hell, it happened to me the other night. I went out for wings with my good friends Dan and Nathaniel, and it was the first time I was really hanging out with Nathaniel outside of work. I work with the two of them. And I have once before, but we were doing two guys in a game, so it was a little different. Whereas this, we were just hanging out having some wings and beer. Mm-hmm. And man, it's funny. I got a couple beers in me, and it was like instantly just started talking about like all this like heart to heart shit and like nothing heavy, but like
You just talk about life. It's just you get more personal. Not to be mean or nothing or try to dig. It's just it's easier. The floodgates are open. The filters are off. It's
I'm
like
totally that guy. It's brutal.
Yeah. Most of the time I find it's like, so you and that girl, man, are you guys gonna be something? Are you guys gonna have you hooked up? Is your tits real? The regular questions.
How would you rate her ass on a scale of 1 to 5? Like,
Oh, I hate those debates when it's drunk people discussing boobs and butts. Oh dear Lord, it's a war. It's a war about to happen. As fun as it is talking about those specific parts, no, not with drunk people.
yeah, and I mean, it's just like because everyone's different.
Yeah,
And some people like boobs, and some people like butts, and
but-
some women like men's butts. That doesn't matter. It's
some
what it
women
is.
like men's boobs.
Yeah, I mean, I've got a nice pair, so I got a real nice pair.
See, and this is why when we're drinking, we can talk about these things more openly.
Yes.
It's just nicer. It's easier.
It is what it is. But I wanted to ask you if you remember, because this is interesting, because it's not necessarily a milestone episode, but it's an interesting episode because it's just the two of us. Do you remember like the first time we drank together?
No.
'Cause I was trying to think about this morning, and I couldn't think of it.
If I could tell you all the amount of times I've drank, you would understand why my memory is just not there.
Well, do you have a funny drinking story from the two of us that you remember? Because I have one, but I'm curious if you have one.
I remember the first time you met a girl, and that was when we weren't that close yet. Mm-hmm. Other than that, because we're not going to repeat that story. I know we have before, and I just don't want to repeat it. So no.
You mean you're not going to repeat stories? What? What?
I was just I made an ass of myself. You were trying to hit on a girl, and I didn't.
Ah, yes.
I didn't.
I couldn't remember what you were talking about.
I didn't take
I remember
that.
now.
He was on a couch just chatting her up, and I didn't take the hints. Drunken Ryan jumped over the couch basically and like just being an idiot.
Hey, how's it going, buddy? Well, take care.
Yeah, I didn't.
How it happened.
I wish I would have took a quicker hint, but
Haha. It's what it is. Not a big deal.
I remember New Year's. You weren't drunk, but your girlfriend was, and you didn't like one of the rules I made.
Oh my god! Can you tell that story, please?
Yeah, so we're playing. Oh god, what were we playing? King's Cup. So one of the rules you can put on a card is just rules. Simple as that. You draw. I think it's like you draw the jack. We had it. Then you get to make up a rule. So I hate certain rules. You got the certain ones of, you can't swear, you drink, can't point at people, you can't use hand gestures. The little man on a beer thing, you got to pretend to take him off your beer, drink, and then put him back on. Can't say it. All these different ones. People break them, and it's like, hey, there's no consequences. People can be idiots sometimes with it. So I made a rule. If you break any of my rules, you will be, I think for the guys, everybody. Anybody had to flash me. And I made it that thing, because I know the guys aren't going to show their tiny peckers off, and I knew the girls didn't really want to.
It's average.
1 inch is good.
Huge.
It's like a sledgehammer.
A really, really small sledgehammer.
It's the dwarven hammer.
It's the dwarven hammer of might.
But yeah, so I made that rule. I said, you guys have to flash me. I'm like, that's going to keep everything in check. And so TJ is he's not controlling by any means. He's not overprotective. He just looks out for his girl's best interest. That is a good quality to have. Men, take note. You should probably have a vested interest in your girlfriend. Make sure she'll
There's got to be a situation sometimes when you have to say,
don't do it.
hey, is this the best idea?
Yes, and my rule was one of those times where I'm like, okay, Sam, if you break the rule, you have to flash me. And so, yeah, I can remember he wasn't impressed by that, and I was drunk, so I had to kind of.
So mad.
He was, yeah, I could tell you were.
Because I also wasn't drunk.
Yeah.
I was by that point I'd sobered up because I was tipsy.
Yeah.
But I sobered up by then. So I was like, this guy's trying to see my girlfriend's tits. At the time, she was my girlfriend, by the way.
Yeah.
It'd be different now because like
then
I'd
it's
be
a
like,
huge no.
I'd be like, look, man, like
That's my future
I
wife.
feel like you wouldn't cross that line, but
And it wasn't.
it's
and
like-
keep in mind, it was never directed at
Yeah,
anybody.
yeah.
It's literally just to be like, because I think more guys ended up flashing me, and it just became a little bit of a joke. But it was to keep
bunch
things
of
in
man
track.
tits in your face.
But Sam broke the rule. She didn't do it because I was a gentleman, and I said, TJ, you can do the rule for her. You can be the one to flash me. So, because I knew it's like if she takes off her top, I have to run. He could kill me. That's my boss.
My fiance is a very like respectful and conservative person, and when she drinks, as she will admit, as most people are, everyone's a little more free. So
That's
it's
a
something
nice
that,
way
like,
to put
it's not
it.
a big deal. Like it just be like she flash her fucking bra, whatever. Okay, oh my god, we're so
You
mature.
didn't want
But
that to
I was-
happen.
I was just like, because I know that it would be awkward as fuck the next day. I was just like, nah, dude, like it's just
for
not
her?
happening. Yeah, it's not happening.
Because I'll be like, for the rest of us, be like, nah, wouldn't even think anything of it. Yeah, that's the only drinking story I really got. There's not many times where me and you get drunk together.
Yeah,
'Cause either
it
you're-
hasn't happened enough.
Yeah, either you both have to go home or you're DDing for Sam so she can drink.
It needs to happen more. We need a mics and beers where we just like, because even tonight, like, you know, we've got a couple beers, but like you can't drink too much. You gotta drive home.
Now,
So,
I am driving home a lot later than
Yes.
this podcast, just so we're
Yes,
clear.
just for the record.
NYPD.
Yes,
Just
he's
don't
NYPD.
They're listening all the time.
They're listening.
Goddamn Americans.
Yeah, he's having like literally 2 beers and is driving home in a few hours. So there's no problem.
well beyond,
Yeah.
within the limit.
Never ever drink and drive.
I
ever.
love how we're protecting ourselves. No cop's
I know.
gonna hear this.
No one's
They're
gonna hear this,
Convict
but-
us.
But it's always good to make sure you practice safe drinking and safe sex. Wrap your
Oh,
willies, boys.
Safe sex, I'd say outdoes safe drinking.
I don't know about that. You can survive an STD. You can't survive. running
No,
your
you
car off a fucking
can't.
bridge.
AIDS will kill you.
Whatever.
I'm HIV positive. That will
Speaking
happen.
of STDs, I remember one time.
I was like, "Do you actually have a story?" I've never.
No, I didn't know.
I've actually never met anybody with an STD.
I have.
Really?
I almost went on a date with one. Ooh. And then she informed me she had STD, and I went, okay, like, I mean, I'm not that shy of a guy. I'm gonna be like, oh my god, but like, I was like, cause she's a pretty cool girl, but then I was just kind of like, so how many guys do you sleep with regularly? And she was like, a few, and I was like, how many is a few? And then I realized that she was just a very promiscuous individual, and I was not into that. So
No, yeah, I wouldn't
respectively declined the invite too.
I do the same. Whether you call me an asshole or not, if I found out a girl, like, let's say, had gonorrhea, something, or even something that could be curable, I don't feel comfortable enough to want to have a sexual relation with them at the time. Maybe we can try and start dating, and then we'll see, and I'll be open with him, saying I'm not sticking. Like, I'm not having sex with you.
I'm not sticking. I knew you were gonna go with that for a second.
I am not sticking my dick in
sticking
your
it in
vagina.
you. Okay, it's not happening.
If you want to give me head, sure. If you're okay with just that happening, sweet. That's great for me. But yeah, I don't want to take chances on that. And this is the time you find out. You either ask buddies during drinking, like going back to those heart to hearts. This is where you get real dirt on people too. That's what I find when I'm drinking with a couple of the guys, and unfortunately our group is high schoolers. But we find out a lot of shit. And even with new people, I find if I'm meeting someone for the first time, I can get a lot of dirt and shit on individuals, or I can just find out some interesting things about the person themselves, that they're hammered, and I'm like, oh man, cool, what do you do? Or like, what are your hobbies? I mean, how many people have you slept with? I don't know. And they pretty cool answers half the time.
Yeah. Well, I can remember, just to kind of finish off the whole story thing, there was one incident that I've never actually talked about on the podcast, but it's been mentioned a few times, because I really want to talk about it, because I think it paints me in a very bad light. Ooh. But then I kind of realized, I'm like, it really doesn't look that bad.
I'm already in a bad light.
Yeah. And also, there's stuff that we're going to talk about a little later that's going to paint me in bad lights. That's okay. Sure. Because that's the kind of podcast we're doing here today. So this one time, we were at our buddy Garrett's house, and we were all drinking. I had only had about a beer and a half at that point. spread out throughout a few hours. So I was sober.
Yeah.
At the time, you were always very vigilant on people drinking and driving.
Oh, I hated it.
Yeah. And you were like, dude, like, you know, you shouldn't be driving or anything. Because basically what was going on was I was, at the time, trying to court a young woman. And she was in a couple towns over. So it was probably about a 20-minute drive. And...
Same girl from my story? Oh, no, that was a different girl. No, what?
different girl. Oh, yeah, way different girl.
Yeah,
No. This is way before
Yeah.
that. This is way back. This was like 2 years before that.
Oh, this is a mystery
We were
girl.
not even remotely like friends, really. Like it's Woody. Hey, how's it going? Nice, man. Oh, what's up? Like we were just like casual drinking partners once in a blue moon.
Good acquaintances.
Yes, and basically, I was trying to court to this girl. She did not want anything more than like basically she wanted a fuck buddy, and I had no desire to do that at all. That's just not me. But because I liked her, I was like, okay, I'll come hang. We would always hung out. Nothing ever happened because it was just is what it is. But the one time, she was like at a party. She was a big partier.
Yeah.
And like she was like, oh, like I'm stuck at this party. It's so boring. I'd rather hang out with you. She was drinking.
Yeah. She wanted to hang out
And
with
she
you.
was,
already.
yeah. And me being just naive, stupid TJ, 19-year-old TJ, I was like, man, like I think I was talking to Garrett and Brand about it. And I'm like, I'm gonna go pick her up and like take her home, whatever. Like, you know, I'm like help her out. And they're like, dude, this is not a good fucking idea. Like, it was like 1 a.m. They're like, you're gonna drive all the way to Oshawa to pick this girl up and drop her off at home when clearly this is not what you think it's gonna be.
Yeah, exactly.
And I was like, no, like she likes me, like it's cool, like it's gonna be, because I didn't want.
We're going to get married.
I didn't want a one night. I didn't want any of that shit. I was like full on, like I wasn't like in love with this girl or anything, but I was like, she's cool. Like she was a total metal chick, and I was like, oh, like she's so cool. And I just had the blinders on, couldn't see the situation for what it was. And I'm getting ready to leave, and you literally stopped me, and you were like, listen, nice man, I'm gonna tell you this right now, okay? You shouldn't do this. This is not gonna end well for you. You shouldn't do this. I was like, no, man, don't worry about it. Like, it's all good. Everything's fine.
Get out of my way, nerd.
Yeah. And, like, you're just like, are you literally going to, like, have sex with this chick? Because if you are, then okay, go nuts. But, like, we know you. You're not, that's not what you're
I don't remember this.
doing. And I was just kind of like, whatever. So, anyway, long story short, we had a bit of a bonding moment there because, like, I was just like, look, like, I respect you. Like, I know what you're saying, but, like, thank you, but
Get the
no,
fuck
thank
out of
you.
my way.
I was just like, look, I'm going to pick up this girl. I really like her. Like, it is what it is. So anyway, I went to go pick up this girl, and nothing even remotely happened at all. She was mad that I didn't want to basically bang her in the back of my truck.
Attaboy, you're a gentleman.
I was just like, you're drunk. Like, I'm not.
Consent, everybody.
Yeah, I was like, I'm
We
not doing
preach
this.
that
Like, this is
shit.
ridiculous. I'm not doing this. Like, and I just said to her, like, I like you. And she was just like, well, I mean, I like you enough to have sex with you. And I was like,
Do it when you're sober.
yeah. And I said, okay, then wait. And then, of course, never anything ended up happening ever again. But yeah,
no worries.
not really sure why I told that story aside from the fact that that was a moment that, like, we had, like, a little bit of a bonding moment. Because I remember, like, my respect for you was, like, I was like, the fact that you stopped me and were like, look, like,
Don't do it.
you're going to get hurt by this. Don't do this. And I was like, cool. Okay.
Drinking. Not a lot, obviously, but yeah, one of those times. I don't remember. It sounds like every single time me and you've had a drinking experience, it hasn't ended that well.
Cheers.
I've done something to upset you.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't upset me. It was quite the opposite. Because I was like, oh, I should have listened to Ryan and the guys. You know, I should have listened. But
I've stopped
being
you from
stupid.
flirting and trying to get with a girl.
Oh, God.
I've almost got your girlfriend to show me your
who,
boobs.
for the record, I later got with, just for the
Yeah,
record.
but even still, tried to stop. Almost stopped that. Almost got your girlfriend to show me your boobs when you were pissed off, and I nearly stopped you from having sex. I sound like a complete asshole when I'm around you when I'm drinking. I'm the worst friend ever.
Let me rephrase that. Basically, in a way, you were trying to stop me from walking into a situation where sex could have been obtained from a drunk girl.
So I'm your guardian
But I
angel.
liked her, so it was a situation where I was like, I don't want that, and you knew that was going to happen. So in a fucked up way, you were technically, yeah, you were
My
kind of cock blocking me in a way.
you
But
go.
it was because you knew that, like, so I was like, okay, but yeah. So I guess in a way,
I'm a terrible person. We shouldn't drink because the next
The
time
heel.
Sam's gonna try to bring you into a room and be like, guys, don't go yet. we're gonna play a game, and you're gonna be like, Ryan, trust me, we're gotta go. No, it's cool, man. I'm gonna come with you guys. We're gonna plan out a strategy. No, you're not coming with us. No, it's totally fine. I'm already in here.
It's already fine. I'm already here. Just do whatever you're gonna do. I'll just sit in the corner.
Wow, my pants are off. Crazy.
Oh, what happened?
Don't worry, I'm
Shout outs to Pat.
It's the do's and don'ts.
Is what it is. Sometimes you just need to know, okay, I should not do this. And other times you just go, maybe that's acceptable. I don't know.
So what is acceptable?
I know that you have some points you want to make. And actually, before we get into that.
I see, I never get to talk.
For 1 second, because I'm almost done this cracked canoe.
Okay, well, I'm counting to one. One. Hey, your time is up. Thank you. Into the next segment.
I was going to lead into another drink that I'm going to talk about.
Nobody cares.
I care. I care a lot.
I had to wait 20 minutes to talk about my girl. Or a beer, I guess you'd call
Actually,
it
it was 5 minutes. I was counting.
Yeah, okay. Do I have to wait another 5 minutes? Actually, go ahead. You might as well talk. I'm going to finish off my beer.
You're going to finish off your beer. We'll
I'm
crack
pissed-
open a couple new
I'm
beers and then
pissed
we'll continue.
off.
Ladies and gentlemen, the heel is pissed.
I don't even know why I'm here.
Because you're my co-host.
Hey, man, you want 49% of a podcast you're never going to talk on? Sure. What can go wrong? Don't bring his name into this. Our Lord and Savior.
Jesus is a good fella.
Jesus. See, this is what kills me. This is a drinking story.
God.
How in God's green earth is he like the embodiment of good, and yet his blood is wine? Church has been... Something's going on in that faith.
I don't know what's... I mean, yeah, there's a lot going on in that.
New topic. We're not going down that road. I was making a small joke.
We're going to go ahead and not talk about that. What we are going to talk about, though, before we talk about the drinking do's and don'ts, I would like to give a shout-out to the company who makes this beer I'm about to devour. It is Bobcaygen Brewing Company, and this beer is called the Common Loon. And it is an American Pale Ale. It is 4.6%. Bobcaygen Brewing Company was founded with one goal in mind: to brew great craft beers to be enjoyed among friends. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. And it was created, of course, in Bobcaygen, Ontario, and is brewed in Ottawa, Ontario. So this beer, I've never had it before. I've never had any of them. Shout outs to Gordy.
Yeah,
He's singing Bobcaygen by the technically hip right now.
I felt the need to do it because I was just like, when I'm hearing that words, I'm just hearing that song.
I do too. And I mean, I'm not going to lie. That was one reason why I really wanted to try this beer. Because I've never tried them.
Yeah, I almost bought, because when you bought Bobcaygen, I almost bought a 100th Meridian. It'd be a Tragically Hip night. I got to hear the opening of that, and that just sounded beautiful. That was literally Bobcaygen. That's the sound of Bobcaygen, ladies and gentlemen. A gorgeous little town hidden away in Ontario, Canada. And it seems like he's taking a second sip. He is enjoying this a lot. God bless him. See, this is why I probably should have just talked about my beer. This is the most time I've had to speak. I don't know what to do with myself. I'm going to try it if you don't mind.
You're going to go for it.
Ooh, it's a loon. Are we sure it's a loon? It's not a loon. It's a duck.
Oh, it's technically a loon. What do you think? I can't.
I like it.
It's got... I'm going to be blunt.
It's a pale ale, so you may not like it.
It is an American pale ale, which I did say earlier I didn't like. First sip, I'm not going to lie, I was kind of like, oh my, okay. Very strong, kind of that hoppy bitter taste, which I was expecting. But what I wasn't expecting...
That it tasted so good. Good job, Bobcaygen Brewing Company.
No, what I wasn't expecting was... I can't even put my finger on it.
Oh, good. You're bragging.
Because I like it.
No, you're bragging about your beer again. So
it's
I'm looking at my second beer
man.
saying, sorry, we probably won't get to you tonight because we have to talk about TJ's still... Oh, look, he's got another one we got to talk about. And we've run out of time, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for coming.
We're not talking about that beer because I've already talked about MooseHead. So, but that's a good beer. I don't usually like pale ales, but that is a fine beer. I want to try more of them now because that is a fine beer.
I like the name. Again,
if you like American Pale Ale, you gotta check this out.
It's and aesthetics wise, it's a very beautiful can. Just simple navy blue. When it goes up near the top of the can of white, it looks like pine trees. The bottom of the can looks like a big lake for the loon, as it's called Common Loon. So far, this new Ontario Brewing Company that did Bear Runner and Bobcaygen Brewing Company that did Common Loon. Hats off to both of you. This is definitely beer I'm going to be drinking throughout the summer. And see, this is what I liked. I'm glad we did this. Went to the LCBO, the beer store. Both of them, we want to look at some of the craft brew sections. Just, hey, what does Ontario have to offer? I don't care about the big giants anymore. I've drank Budweiser. I've drank Canadian Coors.
Yeah, and
They-
we
and-
do like our
I don't like
big brews.
Budweiser.
Well, I mean, who
If
does,
you like
but-
Budweiser, then most likely
Sounds
you're a
to Aldrin.
moron. You are not my friend, even though most of my friends drink Budweiser. I secretly hate you. Oh, it's such a shitty beer. But then who am I to say? I drink blue sometimes. And
But that being said, if they contact us right now to sponsor us, I mean,
oh my God, if LeBlanc Blue ever sponsored me, like, God bless you. But I think I would take sponsorship from these guys.
well, I mean, if when we say sponsorship, we're not saying, oh, you guys should pay us. We're saying just
No, just if you ever.
we will support you and
Yeah.
give us a free case of beer or something, you know.
Not even. If these companies ever just liked our stuff, I'd be like, that's the coolest thing ever.
Yeah.
Like, God
well,
bless
that happened
you guys.
with MooseHead. That's why, like, I went on that MooseHead kick because I randomly uploaded that picture and they liked it and commented twice and like they seemed so cool and I was like,
Yep.
it made me like their beer even more.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's so cool. So
Even though they never got back to us, that's not a shot on them. That's
no.
literally they took the time. These companies, and this is Canada, and ladies and gentlemen, if you're not Canadian listening to us, this is Canada. People take the time to look at the little guys and be like, "Hey, thank you for your support. Here's just a little bit back," and that's awesome. That's where some people would be like, "Oh my God, we just did all this promotion for you, and you did dick all for us." No, that's not how we roll. It's like if we shouted out, let's say shout out to Moosehead or New Ontario Brewing Company, Bobcaygen Brewing Company, any of the big Molson Industries. If we shouted you out every day for 100 days and you gave us nothing back but a like, that's awesome. That's great.
That's fine. Yeah, that's all. That's
how
all
it
we
should
really
be.
want.
Well,
we just want to spread the love. You know, that's what it's all about.
And that's drinking is all about spreading
Fuck yeah.
love.
Cheers.
Cheers. You can just hear the girls. It's beautiful. He's just staring at this beer. He gonna make sweet.
Cause
love.
it's hard, man. Cause like I don't like American Pale Ale,
Stop saying the word American. It makes me feel.
but that's what it's called.
Just call it pale ale. Actually, no, it's not what it's called. It's called Common Loon. Ladies and gentlemen, go to your LCBO
Loon.
and look for Common Loon.
Bobcaygen Brewing Company, Common, and they have a couple other ones. They have a Red Amber
or Bear
that
Runner.
Now I really wish I would have liked. Of course, New Ontario Brewing Company's Bear Runner.
Yep.
And we've got one more.
Yeah, if I eventually get to it, you stop talking.
I think that
Yeah,
maybe
but-
now.
Now's a great time. Thank you for just interrupting. Don't shake my
Finish her
beer at
off,
me.
bud. Let's get her
That's
done.
a huge don't. You know what? That's strike one. We're enforcing new
strike
laws.
one.
Strike one. Don't touch
on
me.
the don't. So what's another don't then?
Well, it's funny you say that. Oh, I hit my own mic stand. Now I'm not a professional.
Professional podcaster.
No,
folks.
so we on the podcast. God, I gotta stop hitting my damn mic. We done it before. It's like, when is it okay to cry? That was a little segment we tried. You
Yes.
know, it was funny.
it's
it
still
worked.
good, and I maybe it can make a comeback one day.
I doubt it, because I'm gonna find something that we can just commonly talk about, and that's a little segment in our show. So I thought it's a common one. I'm sure every drinking podcast does it, even though they're not better than us. Is do's and don'ts of drinking.
Yes.
So normally I go on the interweb and the dark interweb and try to find cool lists. This one happened to pop up. I was just gonna make up my own, but hey, for starting out, let's go over the most common ones.
kind of some official do's and don'ts.
Absolutely. Do's and don'ts. Wow. Bloop. Terrible wording. This is the list. Do's and don'ts to survive summer drinking. We're in the summer. Hey, people are going to the cottage. You're going to be outside on the patio, barbecues and all that. It's going to be all day drinking. Well, now we're going to tell you the do's and don'ts of how to be able to survive this. So your Sunday, you will actually, have a day where you're not hungover and dead. So let's start it off. Number one, absolutely do not drink the night before. Yeah. Absolutely. It's a Saturday night, ladies and gentlemen.
As the
the
heel
the
sits here
hood.
currently.
Hungover still. From a night of drinking last night. I'm not a young man by any means anymore. I'm getting close to, I'm in almost my 30s. I can't stay up all night. We were at a buddy's show. We got drinking a lot of the pints. I was drinking.
the Nuke Duo.
No. Don't want to ever shout them out.
Pastor Breezy.
They're good people. They're
Wheezy.
buddies of ours, whatever. Having my red pints. Keith's red. Love it.
Love me some Keith.
Show goes until about 1 a.m. Okay, everybody's going to sleep. No, I want to keep this party going. Let's go back to your place and drink. Oh my God, we got home at 3:30 in the morning. I was just having a blast. I'm drunker than hell. I'm great. Probably about 18 beers later, I was just like, fuck, this is good. Knocked out. Woke up this morning like, holy shit. Go to my girlfriend, like, did you by any chance get the license plate of the truck that hit me last night? Holy fuck. And I've been feeling it. I woke up today at about 11 o'clock, and it's, according to the clock, it's almost 10. That's a lot of time. That's a long-ass hangover, ladies and gentlemen. So yeah, absolutely do not drink the night before so you can enjoy a full day of drinking. Number 2.
For sure.
Start your day with a big breakfast. That's just common
so
sense.
fucking important. Oh my god.
Literally, that's what the thing says. Breakfast is the most important meal of the day.
If you do not eat, like even me, before we started this podcast, I knew, okay, I haven't eaten for a few hours. I had myself a nice chicken breast or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to get some food in you. Super important.
Not only that, number 3, stay hydrated. Now,
Yes.
I read people saying the 1-for-1 ratio. That's time consuming in its own right. If I'm during a party, I should say. So even though this is going off summer drinking, if I'm at a party, I'm never doing 1-for-1. I'm not going to go have a beer, then get a drink of water, and then get a beer and do all that. All day drinking, though, absolutely. Which would kind of go into number 4, pacing yourself too.
Yes.
So don't be pounding these back. So at like 12 o'clock or 1 o'clock in the afternoon, you're already drunk. What the hell are you going to do from there? You can't enjoy anything else throughout the day. You're hammered. Guys, pace yourself. Huge do. Pace, enjoy a beer. Doesn't need to be never double fist and shit like that. Just a 12-pack can last you a whole day.
It's funny. I bought a 6-pack of MooseHead the other day, and this was a couple months ago. That first 6-pack of MooseHead I bought, we used a couple for the podcast and I had a couple left over. And throughout the course of the next 2 weeks, I drank 3 beers. And some people are like, oh, that's not very much. And I'm like, no, but like if I come home and I've had a particularly rough day or a hard day, sit down, crack myself a nice MooseHead or something, or a nice, New Ontario Brewing Company beer, whether it's a Bear Runner or whatever, or a nice Bobcaygen Brewing Company.
Or one we'll eventually get to. I'm getting to you, sweetheart.
And I'm excited. Like, I want to get to it.
Well, let's keep going. Number 5, stay the hell away from shots.
Yes.
Major don't. If you take shots throughout a day of drinking, like a beach, if that's what your thing is, you're a goddamn serial killer. That's all I have to say about that one. Dear God.
Do you also wear turtlenecks?
You eat marmalade. You do things that would be deemed serial killer material. That's our own little personal joke. Don't worry about it, because number 6 is eat. Oh, you better believe during the summer barbecues, food should be all the time. Snacks and all that. Simple. Easygoing rule. I love it, because that gives you it's an excuse to eat and drink all day. What more do you want?
Who doesn't want to just literally eat and drink all day?
Yes.
That's all I want to do anytime. Right now, I wish that I had like a pile of wings in front of me. It's so good.
I would just go for chips. I'd be okay with snack food.
So to interrupt this real quick, what is your favorite food to eat when drinking? Is it chips?
I'm going to say do's and don'ts of eating while drinking. I wouldn't go with anything like wings in this case.
Is it because it's too heavy?
It's
sometimes
it's too saucy. I don't like getting my hands dirty, having to wipe them down and then put it. I don't know because people are gonna be like, "Oh, it's stupid." I'm like, it's just a personal thing. I don't think anything spicy should be ingested.
No. Fuck no.
Not when you're drinking. It's
super important.
And anything with a lot of flavor that lasts, it lingers in your mouth, because then your beer's wrecked. Everything with your drink's wrecked. So when it comes to eating, I just say if I'm at a party, snack foods for sure. If it's an all-day event, barbecue foods.
Barbecue, nice. There's nothing like having a nice burger or a nice steak or a nice sausage or hot dog or something.
Oh, yeah.
With nice beer. And I was speaking earlier, I'm just going to touch on this real quick. I was speaking earlier about me having to kind of defend my love of lighter beers. Let me explain why.
There's
because
no defense.
I'm the kind of...
Don't drink light beer as a do and don't of drinking.
Because I am the kind of guy who, most of the time when I drink, it is a relaxing thing. So there's nothing I hate more than when I'm drinking and I have a couple beers and I feel bloated afterwards. Because I get bloated very easily, being a fat guy. For some reason, that doesn't really make any sense, I think. But anyway. So if I'm like, say I'm having a nice steak, I want to have a beer. I'm not going to get like a really heavy beer. I'm going to get either like a nice Coors Banquet or a nice MooseHead Lager or any kind of a real light beer, like a Coors Light sometimes. Like just, it's light, I'm drinking it, and it's flavorful, and I'm enjoying it, and I sometimes need a little buzz off it if I want to, and I can still enjoy my steak and my food, and it's good. That's why I like it.
Well, I'm glad you handed me over your man card. That was much needed while you discussed this.
You know what?
You
know what?
It's
fine.
preference.
It's fine.
So, I agree with this next one. Don't drink solo.
No.
I think that's
never.
huge, especially if now this is the time we're talking about all day drinking. Even the list makes a funny point. The solo act only really works with big bottles of Pinot, which is a type of wine, and hours of Netflix binging. Other than that, it's always more fun to drink with friends. Couldn't be any more true.
For sure. I mean, I will play devil's advocate for a minute because there's been times where if I'm like working on a guitar or something, and it's during the day, it's a weekend, it's my weekend off, I'm kind of wanting to relax. For me, working on guitars and stuff like that's relaxing to me. I have fun doing that.
But you're not trying to get hammered. That's what.
No, absolutely not. But I've probably cracked a nice MooseHead and I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, I have drinks on my own, but pardon me, after work and all that. But it's a beer or two. I think what they're saying is like, don't try to do all day drinking by
For
yourself.
sure, yeah, never.
That's not a good look. That's it. Some people may be asking, are you okay? But number 8, this is something I found interesting. So again, all-day drinking event in the summer, enjoying the weather, having a great time. Number 8 says, make it an early night. Now, I'm torn on this because...
Oh, I'm not.
It depends on the definition of early. So it is subjective. Early night for some people may say, hey, I'm going to bed at 9. Others may say 11 because some parties go to 2
For
in the
me,
morning.
I'm the perfect example of this because I'm the guy that once like 11 or midnight hits,
You start to fade.
I'm good. Like I've had my fun. If we start partying and
Oh my God, this is supposed to be a professional
oh my
podcast.
God, I'm so sorry.
I wish we were professional and we'd edit our own shit, but apparently we don't.
Damn it,
So
guys, I'm sorry.
that's
That
in
was
the
my
recording.
fault.
That's okay. I don't want to be famous. I don't want to be.
Of all the people sitting here, of the two of us, my phone is the one that goes off.
I turn mine
God
on
damn
vibrate.
it.
I'm smart.
I know. I usually turn mine on silence actually, because
That's a-
vibrate will still make noise.
That's
just
a
for the record.
huge do and don't.
I'm sorry, and I completely lost my train of thought. What I was going to say.
I'll bring it back up to you because it said early night. Number 9 says get
Yes.
a full night's sleep.
Super important, because I'm the guy who, let's say we start partying at, say maybe 7 or 8 or 9, somewhere in those 3-hour period. After 4 hours or so, I'm good. I don't need to, as much as there are nights where like there's times where I've loved in the past pulling all-nighters and drinking and hanging out with the boys and hanging out with my friends, like I have enjoyed that in the past, but now for me, like once like 11 or 12 hits, like shit, man, like I'm ready to go to bed. Like I usually wake up around 6 or 7, or earlier, like I'm good. Yep. You know what I mean?
Well, it's not even just the age thing. We're in a weather now, out in the summer. Everybody can get together if people aren't working at like just at supper time even. We all eat together.
Even
we're
earlier.
So why do you need to be going at 2 a.m. when you've been starting at 6? And I'm getting to that point now. I used to be a guy,
6 a.m. What's the point,
I used to be a guy, and even last night showed it. I like to go all night, but there's certain times where, you just start to fade, and it's like, fuck. Guys, we're not 18 anymore. Let's call it a break. Let's be done.
Not.
You bastards. But yeah, that's just the first couple of do's and don'ts. I think they do. You could say they work for a lot of parties. Any scenario when it comes to drinking. And so this is definitely something to stay tuned, listen to more episodes because we're going to get into more do's and don'ts that aren't so common. Like I'll give you an example. And this is a little teaser, a little one. Never, and this is especially to ladies, I find this is a big don't when it comes to drinking. It's just paranoid. We won't cause a huge discussion about it. Don't take a drink from someone that is open.
Absolutely. That
I
is
would
a
say
big thing.
Especially, I say from people you don't really know.
If it is a friend of yours,
You should be able to
obviously,
trust them.
Yeah, of course.
But I was thinking about like questions like that before I found this list. Something just to kind of give people, the things you don't normally hear. And I would definitely say that's just something to keep in mind, folks. Rules and the do's and don'ts we will talk about. And that's kind of one of them. One of those things where just, hey, drinking's one of these, it's not a right, it's a privilege. Be careful out there. You got to be safe. We talked about safe drinking.
Absolutely. Never, as much as we joke around and we make dick jokes and stuff like that. You're gonna open it?
So you know what? Because you started talking about dicks, it's like perfect time to get a beer. Am I gonna open it? Shh, everybody listen. Because it sounds like I am going to open the beer of Prince Edward County Brewing Company here in Prince Edward County, Ontario, Canada. This is called Dunes Beach Beer. If anybody knows, like, Prince Edward County, think of Picton Beach. Let's find out how it sounds.
Oh, my.
It's a little saucy.
That sound makes me horny.
It kind of does.
I mean, just being honest.
So this beer is called a Kolsch style. We have found that out. That's just basically German for how they make it.
There was a definition of it. It was, oh, my God.
German.
It's a type of a German beer, the way it's made.
And that tastes German.
10 breweries, blah, blah, blah.
Oh,
it's
wait.
basically it's a Pilsner. It's a malt Pilsner.
Oh, good. So remember how, before we wrap this all up, remember how I was saying that I wouldn't have time to introduce this beer because you would take up. I almost got into a whole thing saying, and this is about the beer. And you're like, malt Germany
I was
Pilsner.
trying to, oh my God.
Germany found out they're a stapler, and and Ryan isn't unable to talk.
Oh boy.
He's going to find out being on a podcast with TJ isn't so easy.
I'm used to having to carry podcasts, okay? That's just...
Yeah, no, that's fine. Hey, I don't... Take your 51 and just
actually,
talk.
for the record.
For the rest of the time, you can talk. I'm done. I don't even know why
I
I did my
hear
49.
I want to hear about your beer. Tell me about your beer, please.
Oh, it's wonderful. Can I talk?
Yeah.
Is this mic on? Okay. I sound like a complete douche. Oh,
You do.
I bet people...
me.
I'm not really a full douche, ladies and gentlemen. I'm about 49%. No, so this Dunes Beach Beer, this, as silly as it sounds, this tastes like a beach beer. And what that sounds like, think of the fun times you have at the beach. This is something you want to drink. Very smooth. I don't know how to, like, we're not beer connoisseurs. We can't be like, ooh, the hoppiness to the malt ratio is wonderful. I believe the crystal clearness of the beer. No, this is friggin' good. Prince Edward County Brewing Company. Go to your LCBO, find it. It's called Dunes Beach Beer. Man, I've been having a blast drinking this beers. I'm going to name them all off again, just so you guys know. In case you forgot, you're too lazy to hit rewind. I understand. Go to the LCBO. Go to the beer store. What you want to look for from today's podcast. New Ontario Brewing Company's Bear Runner, which is a blonde ale. That was the first beer I drank. Perfect beer for just being around a campfire, enjoying a nice night at summer vacation. Our TJ's first beer, Crack Canoe. If you're a fan of Moosehead, ladies and gentlemen, you'll be a fan of this.
You're going to love the beer. It's so good, guys.
Bobcaygen Brewing Company.
Yes.
We got to try Common Loon, is what it's called. Bobcaygen Brewing Company's Common Loon. Nice American Pale Ale. Similar to Alexander Keith's. Beautiful can design.
It's definitely a little stronger in the sense of the hoppiness.
I'm sorry. Was I talking?
Oh, my
sorry.
God.
I thought this was America.
Please go ahead. Please go ahead. I'll just sit back in my chair.
That's fine. Okay. Now, see, I'm sorry. Now I feel silly. But yes, in our our fourth and last beer that we have gotten to, again, Prince Edward County's Brewing Company, Dunes Beach Beer. I've loved them all. I'm really glad that we did that.
I am too. I want to do more.
Oh yeah.
I want to get more of them, and probably in the future we're going to try and find more.
Unless the 4 companies we said asked for sponsorships. Unfortunately, to the rest of you, you couldn't get to us in time. We'll gladly help you out and say your name for free. If you said, hey, every single week we'll like and share your stuff, I'd be like, done. I am your biggest fan.
We will literally drink because we're sellouts. No,
yes.
But when we like the product, I think it's okay, you know?
See, I hate coffee, but if a coffee company came to me and said, hey, we'll like and share your page every time you mention our coffee company on your mics and beers, I'm like, done. I'm selling out.
We're coffee. It's coffees and mics now.
Coffees and mics.
Mics and coffee.
Mics and grounds.
There you go. That's a new podcast, folks.
No, I'm not giving up beer. A doctor ever said, sorry, son, it seems your livers have a little bit of damage. We're going to need you to quit alcohol so you can continue on. I'm going to tell him to dig me a hole. I'm like, I'm done.
Dig him a hole.
I'm tagging out, coach.
Tagging out, coach. It's over.
Stick a fork in me. I'm done. Tease, do you have anything else you want to talk to before we wrap this up and say goodbye? Because
I had... Oh, sorry.
Oh, no. I was just going to say, because this has been great. We don't have a third idiot here that we have to worry about time.
Blah, 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 blah.
This is going to be a quick podcast, and I know everybody loves shorter podcasts. So I was like, what are we...
Around the hour, you know?
Are
That's
we?
what a podcast should be. Yeah, we're at the... as we record this, we're just over the 50-minute mark. So
Oh my God, this is wonderful. This is going to be the biggest podcast we've ever done.
Isn't it nice?
Oh.
It's as much as I do enjoy longer podcasts, sometimes it's nice to have about that hour, you know.
Yeah,
It's
because
good to
then
have
people can ease. If I see a podcast that's 50 minutes compared to 130 or like an hour and 30 minutes, I'm going to listen to the 50 every
I'm the
time.
same. I'm the same sometimes. Sometimes I do like the longer ones, but I guess the only thing I really wanted to touch on, because I was talking about it earlier, we might need to save for another podcast, maybe our next podcast. I don't know. I kind of sort of wanted to talk about a thing I was going to entitle Heartbreak Hotel, but I feel like we're going to get into that way too much because there's so much we have to talk about.
Heartbreak Hotel is I think, you know what, if we call up that Hodder Show guy, the host of the Hodder Show, that sounds like, hey,
maybe.
I haven't been on the Hodder Show in a while. I'd love to call him up and say, hey, buddy, what if I come back and returned? Help you out with
We need to make that happen.
Hey, he's a part of our network. We got to call
I'll
him
give
up.
him a call. I'll give him a call.
Podbeard Network, ladies and gentlemen. You could hear me, the heel, back with, I think his name is TJ.
Something like that.
Yeah, the leader, the host of the Hodder Show. I'd love to return. Maybe that's it. Heartbreak Hotel.
And basically, we'll give you a little snippet, a little
teaser
thing about what him and TJ are going to talk about. And it's basically
how I friggin' broke a girl's heart.
Yeah, that's it, man. It's because I find whenever like I was saying earlier about the whole drinking with Nathaniel and Dan, is I started talking about this one incident where I totally was a total dick. And I totally broke a girl's heart, but I didn't
Didn't mean to.
I didn't mean to, and I still to this day I feel bad about it. But so I think it's an interesting thing because whenever I start drinking, I talk about things of that nature and heart-to-heart stuff, and we've had a lot of fun today, and we've talked about these awesome beers, and we've talked about drinking do's and don'ts and a bunch of other stuff.
And those will be a common staple when we bring our next big idiot on. Probably won't be my favorite choice because my favorite choice doesn't exist. It's just us. We'll have to do the do's and don'ts.
Yeah, maybe I think we'll do that again.
Hey, if you actually liked our shit, tell us who you want to hear. Maybe it's someone from other shows. I don't care. I'll get in contact with Ninja, that streamer dude. I don't know. I'll try.
We can make it happen too. I've been
No,
doing
we can't.
more.
We can't get a hold of Ninja.
Well, I mean, other people.
Yeah,
I know
why
that
not?
for sure. Shouts to Mr. Bumwine Bob.
He's a good guy.
Because when I was on his show, I talked a little bit about Mikes and Beers, and he wants to link up and he wants to do Mikes and Beers with us. So that would be a ton of fun. Speaking of shout outs, I want to give a few shout outs to, of course, the Podbeard Network.
Drink.
All the shows on the Podbeard Network. Drink. Where's my damn beer?
Everybody,
Where the hell did I put it? Oh shit! Why is it all the way over there?
I moved it
Cheers,
because
bud.
we started
Drinks.
slalling. Again, if you don't know why we're drinking, go check out our website. You'll find out our drinking rules and play along.
Bunch of other stuff. You can also find our podcast there, and among other places. Hope you hit that subscribe button, follow, like, share, all that fun stuff. But as far as some more shouts, I want to, of course, shout out the Drinks with Larry crew.
Good
They're a
guys.
big supporter of our podcast, as well as Amazing Nerd Show, Still Owning Podcast, the Wheel Rant Podcast, No Geeks Allowed Podcast, the Bearded Geeks.
Bearded Geeks are goddamn
They
beauties.
are they not an awesome
Ladies
fucking
and gentlemen,
podcast, dude?
I don't give shout outs that often. And I should, like the people that TJ just said, all great individuals, listen to their stuff, great content, go check them out. But the Bearded Boys, I know that's not their name, but I want to just call them the Bearded Boys, the Bearded Team, the Boys of Beards. What is their actual name? I just want to call them different
The
things.
Bearded Geeks.
The Bearded
Geeks is their name.
Here I am trying to rebrand them. Sorry, boys. But the Bearded Geeks, wonderful individuals. They've been kind to us on social media. They've been producing good content. I highly recommend you going to check them out. Tell them we sent you. Hopefully they'll send their fans to us because 18 downloads kind of sucks. We got to get higher.
Again, for the record, it was more than that. So everybody, we come to the end of the podcast here today, episode 5 of Mikes and Beers. Hope you had a good time. Again, hope you hit that subscribe button, follow us, check us on the social media, and all that fun stuff. Again, Mikes and Beers on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. You can also follow The Heel on Instagram, The Heel RW.
Don't have Instagram.
I mean, excuse me, on Twitter.
Yeah, I don't know if I'll get Instagram.
You should get Instagram. It'd be a lot of fun.
Nah.
I'd follow you. I'd follow you.
I appreciate that.
You can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, all under TJ Hodder, Hodder. And yeah, we have a bunch of fun stuff. And we do meme Mondays and stuff like that. I make a bunch of stupid memes and put them up there. And anything else?
And I will see you next time. Love how you try to follow me.
So bad. Oh my god. Oh, fuck everybody. I have been Hodder.
I have been the heel.
And we'll catch you next time on Mike's and Beers, everybody. Cheers one more time.
Cheers one more time. Have a good night.
Take it easy, guys.